Sorry, my dear. No wahala.
Just so we see your face.
Yeah. Awesome.
No, please.
It will be too hilarious.
It's just a little bit to the side. Just a little bit to the side.
Oh, oh, I see that now.
Okay.
Mine is good.
Welcome to the YouTube stream. Yeah, good. Carol, running in son. Smooth 98.1, Love Music, Love Life, Once in a Blue Moon by Lady Smith, Black Mambazo. This is Breakfast in Bed here on Smooth 98.1. My name is Oluwaseun. Time check, 5 minutes past 8 o'clock. We are now in the Soul Food segment. And I have my guest already in the studio with me. If you're joining us via YouTube, you can already see that. And if you're not, well, go to the YouTube right now, search for Smooth 91 FM Lagos, and join the stream. Share it with somebody because the information we're sharing here very educative, very nutritious, delicious, and of course very important to your health. And if you want to say something, you want to drop a comment, you can use the live chat box if you're on YouTube, or if you're not, WhatsApp 0809 4440981. If you want to call in to ask a question or just to say, no, I do not agree with what you just said, 014489981 is the number for you to dial. Last week, we had two guests, same topic, healthy snacking, fact versus reality. We had one guest who was in the camp of the healthy food and healthy bars and all of that. And of course, we had one standing in for the bakers and the sugar lovers and the sugar crafters. Unfortunately, we have just one today, but no, that doesn't mean that the conversation is going to be less nutritious. So, my guest today is Boma Harry, the CEO of Mana Health Bar. Hello.
Hello, Shehu.
Thank you so much for joining
Yeah,
me.
thanks for having me today.
Oh, well, unneeded information that you did not ask for. We are both celebrants in the month of October.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, like I mentioned earlier when I started the show, October people totally rock. So, yes, shout out to everybody who is in October. Now, let's get down to business.
Yeah.
So, for somebody who has no idea of what we talked about last week, let's just give some recap. Let's start with what snacks are actually, and before we move over to what we define as snack.
So snacks are foods that we consume in small portions. When you have a meal and you consume it in small portions, that is a snack. It could be anything. It could be your local, a bar and soup. It could be meat pie. It could be anything, but it's something that you consume in small quantities, not large quantities.
Well, why then should I think about healthy snacks if I can just eat my meat pie or just cut up small chunks of eba into soup?
Yes, you should think about healthy snacking because you want to nourish your body. The aim for eating should be, yes, to satisfy that hunger, but also to nourish your body. So that is why healthy snacking is important because what makes it a healthy snack is the components, the things, the ingredients that make up that snack.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so at any point in time, think about what you put into your body. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
hear you say.
Yes.
Now, another thing that we talked about last week, which I also want you to give a quick brush up on, is trans fat. And I am particular about that one because, like you mentioned earlier, a lot of people actually think baked product and processed foods are like the go-to snack.
Yes.
And from your definition, trans fat literally is in or are in those
Yes.
baked product
Baked
because of the
products, yeah.
heating process,
Mm-hmm.
hydrogenation. So just explain that.
Yeah, so trans fat is fat that when passed through heat, it changes to hydrogenated fat.
Mm.
It's also the kind of fat that leads to a longer shelf life of products.
Mm.
And these kind of fats, they're also called saturated fats, and they are so unhealthy for the body because as you keep consuming them and it accumulates, it leads to clogged arteries,
Mm.
and it could also lead to other chronic diseases. So that's why people should be worried about these type of fats.
Mm.
Yeah.
From what you defined, one thing that came to me was a quote I remember that the longer it stays on the shelf,
Yes.
the shorter it makes your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a very deep punchline.
Exactly.
So the longer the shelf life,
Mm-hmm.
the shorter it makes your
Yes.
life.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be very careful.
Careful.
And that's why some people advocate for organic foods and natural foods,
Natural,
which
yes.
we need to also describe
Mm-hmm.
the differences. What is organic, what is natural. So
Yeah.
we'll do that, all of that, and especially clean eating, which sometimes I don't know my take on that. What is clean eating? How do you eat clean? But just take a seat, relax. We'll come back to that because right now we need to go on a very quick break. When we come back, we'll be delving more into the topic of healthy snacking, the fact versus the reality.
World class station.
How do I eat clean? How do I eat clean? What do you mean by clean eating? I am eating already. It is clean. It is healthy. It is natural. What's that?
Oh my, do you know that I my phone to stream online? I didn't know.
Well,
Yeah.
you can share with them later on.
Now your enemy is my enemy.
I will still send him.
Yeah, you send them the link.
Well, you live long enough.
Can I just have one nice evening, please, before the world explodes?
No Time to Die, showing in cinemas nationwide.
I love
Proudly
this
distributed by
movie.
Silverbird Film Distribution.
I love Bond. I love Bond. I can't wait. I've not watched this one though.
Really?
Yeah,
I think the last one I don't think I watched it. I got tired.
I watched Spectre. I watched which one was
The one I watched was this guy.
Spectre? I watched
Coming up around
This
6
fine guy with black hair.
Business Express takes you on how government policies affect your
I'm
financial
trying to
decisions.
remember his
Get
name.
entertained on the
Oh, he's really
grapevine
old
for
now.
all your celebrity
Yes, Restaurant?
Yes.
It's more
Oh yeah,
action,
that's my
your
favorite
favorite
Bond,
sports
followed
and
by
locker
Craig.
room.
events,
Yeah.
I don't really like Craig.
Lagos.
I like Craig just for one thing.
He's too boring.
His blue eyes. I love it. Oh, I'm on
I
YouTube.
think he's
Music
Australian.
just for you.
Yeah.
to
I
elevate
love
you
his
over
blue
the
eyes.
tours.
Yes,
Smooth
beautiful.
Breakfast, Mondays to Fridays from 6 a.m.
All right.
Refreshing.
That's what you get whenever you stay tuned and whenever you listen to us. Smooth, refreshing music. And right now, smooth, refreshing talks. You are tuned into Breakfast in Bed here on Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. This is a soul food segment. Topic of conversation is healthy snacking. The fact versus the reality. Basically, what you should be doing versus what you are doing now. And how to adjust. That's the essence of it.
Yeah.
So, I did say I have a little bone to pick with
Okay.
clean eating. So first, what exactly do you mean whenever you say clean eating?
So it's simply eating foods that do not contain chemicals or preservatives or additives or flavorings or toxins, things that do not promote your wellness. That is clean eating. Clean eating also involves clean cooking because when you if the food the cooking process, if it's not clean, the meal will not be clean, and of course that means you're not eating clean. So you have some people who make use of some cooking methods, and and they do not even know that this is not a clean cooking method.
Like,
So, take for instance,
okay.
frying. Frying is a very unhealthy cooking method.
Huh?
Yes. And then you want me to go on?
Yes, please. We need to be
And then
very
you
clear.
have this barbecuing. When people do all this, barbecue, your what do you call them?
Grilling?
Yes, grilling outside, barbecue
Yeah.
parties, the process, because that involves coals, and those things lead to, you have chemicals that get into the foods, through that process. So you have overboiling also can be a problem. Microwaving can also be a problem depending on how you use the microwave oven, because some people are not knowledgeable in these things. They just, open the microwave and toss in what they want to, cook, and for them, as far as it comes out okay, it's fine, but the process of microwaving sometimes can be detrimental, to our health. So that's why you have to make use of there are some equipment that come with it that you need to use. So yeah, so people need to educate themselves about healthy cooking practices also, in order to achieve clean eating.
Two things. In fact, a lot of things that I've taken from what you just
Yeah.
said. First, you said people need to educate themselves.
Yeah.
But the truth is, anybody can consume anything, especially online. And,
Mhm.
we have different things. And we
Yeah.
do not exactly have so many scientific evidences or
evidences.
backup, because the content, what's it called now? The topic of
Mhm.
microwave, if it affects your health, I know is one that has been contended for a long
A
while,
long
and they
time,
say we
yes.
do not have enough scientific evidence,
Mhm.
or maybe the sample population, different and all of that. But that's also another thing. I don't know if we have a general source of confirmed information that will help people to be thoroughly educated about this cooking method. And secondly, what do you mean overboiling? Am I not supposed to boil the heck out of my food so that the germs
No.
will die?
So let me answer the first question. So yes, there is a lot of debates on if microwaving is, safe and all of that. So what I advise people, when you see an issue that is controversial, it's best to just stay away from it.
Okay.
Things that you don't have there's no firm stand on, okay, is it safe or is not safe, it's best to stay away from it and go for those ones that have already been certified that is safe to do. And the ones that have been certified that is safe to practice is baking, steaming, boiling within the right temperatures, and then what's the other one now? There's so many.
Baking? Did you
Yes.
say baking?
Yes, baking. Yes, baking with an
Steaming,
oven. Yes,
yeah.
baking, steaming, grilling also. If you have a grilling, what do you call it?
But you just mentioned grill now, okay, sorry, that's barbecue.
Yes,
That's open
barbecue,
flame.
yes, it's open flame.
Yeah.
Involves a lot of coals and all of that, charcoals and all
So
of that.
you're basically saying people who eat suya.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, because the process is you have carbon being emitted into the air.
Yeah.
So you find the person who is making it is inhaling the carbon. Also, the carbon is going into the food. So
What if with my suya
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have a side plate of cabbage?
It doesn't.
Is it not countering it?
It still doesn't matter, because it's just like saying you're taking shit and
and water, isn't it?
Exactly.
Interesting.
So that is why you need to make sure that you do it right. It's very, very important. Then there was a second question you asked.
Yeah, boiling.
Yes, boiling. Okay.
How do you overboil it? How do you mean? How should you boil something
Yes.
perfectly without overboiling?
Yes. So the thing is, you need to you find some people, they will boil in to the extent that the food is very soft, or the nutrients of the food are being leached out from that food. So that is why it's very important that, in fact, sometimes these things, because for me, I sometimes just practice steaming, because steaming, when you steam, it's way safe. So that is why for boiling, you just have to be careful. You have to keep checking, what you have on fire. And then another thing is, there are some other food products like vegetables that you cannot boil too much. You have to do more of steaming so that you don't remove the nutrients from it.
Yeah, I've just broken the table that some people who parboil vegetables. So where is the place of that blanching and parboiling of vegetables just to rid it of germs or just to make
Yes.
sure they are.
So if you want to get rid of vegetables, it's best you rinse. You do a kind of cleaning process, which is rinsing it with maybe salt or rinsing with vinegar. These are, much safe cleaning practices that people can adopt than just cooking it and leaving it there till it gets, black.
And yeah, I know that we have water soluble vitamins
Yes.
that, especially, and those ones, heats, I think they're very sensitive to heats too. So they end up being broken down. And at the end of it, we're just taking roughages and fiber.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, so if you have a question or you have something you want to say, you can send a message to 0809 444 0981. Again, 0809 444 0981. WhatsApp message, please. And then the number to dial is 01 448 9981. Now, that being said, let's go back to that healthy snacking versus healthy eating and all of that. Should you be more concerned about the source of the calories, or you should just be concerned about the calories? I mean, for instance, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is a very good question.
Yeah, because it has been up for debate.
Yes. So, coming from a wellness background, where we look into the source of the foods and all of that, in reality, people should be concerned more about the source of calories. And here's why. Because, take for instance, you're taking a snack that is fruit or vegetable based. If you look at a lot of vegetables, they don't really, yes, they have some little calorie, but if you look at it, it's going to nourish your body. So you really don't need to be concerned when it comes to the source. But if it's just calories in general, calories from let's say now
Big food
products. Yes, big food products. Yeah, you really need to be concerned. You need to, because even if it's a healthy snack, take for instance, a snack that is made of healthy oils or healthy sweeteners. The thing is that when it comes to oils, people you can't. There is a level of oil you need to consume. That's on nothing, even if it's healthy. There's a level of oil the body needs. That's why people need to know their BMI. It's very important. So that is why I always, advise, my clients also. I tell them, if you're consuming a snack, yes, even if it's healthy, because there's oil in that snack, you have to take it in small portions, not just binge on it.
And the truth is, a lot of snacks that we buy, we don't exactly know the quantity of oil and fats that have been used.
And we don't also know the type of oils that have been used. We don't know the kind of sugars that it needs. We don't know the kind of grain that has been used for it. Although if you look at, in society today, people really make use of, the flour, the white flour, that of course is very bleached. So that really doesn't have any nutritional value. Yeah.
Well, now that you mentioned the topic of sugar, I don't know, we touched just a bit about on that last week. So let's delve more into it. Okay. First, do you think sugar actually deserves all the hate it is getting? Because we take in sugar in different forms, and especially the white sugar, processed sugar, and all of that. And some people say, oh, okay, well, white sugar is bad, how about you use brown sugar? I don't understand why brown sugar. And secondly, a number of people also say honey is good, honey is a better replacement. But honey, while it is good, honey still is made up of fructose and glucose, and if you're not sure about the moderation, it's
your blood sugar
so sugar, should we be worried about sugar at all?
Yes, people should worry about sugar, especially when it comes to industrialized sugar. That's the white sugar, the table sugar that people make use of, because it's artificial sugars. It's not from a natural source. So people should be worried more about those kind of sugars. But the kind of sugar people don't really need to worry about is sugar from fruits, because that is called fructose sugar. In fact, there is this popular physician. His name is Dr. Greger. He brought a research that showed that when you eat fructose,
Mm.
your blood sugar doesn't spike. That was when I saw that research, I was like, wow.
That's
So
interesting.
yes, and you have certain kinds of sugars that are like that. You know, just let me just mention a few. You have
Okay.
molasses, you have date sugars. Yes.
I don't like it.
You don't like
I
date
don't.
sugars.
In fact,
Oh my goodness.
liking is not actually the word. I hate it.
Then you have the coconut nectar. That one is also good too. So the good thing about things like molasses and dates is that yes, it comes with some nutritional value. Like it has some antioxidants in
They
it.
are just
It
trace.
has some.
They're little.
Well, yes, they are little, but compared to honey, honey is really, really, really little when it comes to, the antioxidants in it.
No, the
So that is
flavonoids.
why, yeah. So that is why people say go for things like molasses and date sugar.
What about the non-calorie sweeteners? We have stevia. That's a common one.
Yes, stevia. So looking at research, I used to be a proponent of stevia until I started looking at different studies on stevia, and I was weak.
What do you
I
mean?
said, my God, why? In the sense that stevia has no nutritional value. If you look at the studies, yes, recent studies show that stevia, even agave. I don't know if you've heard of agave before. Yes, agave. These are sugars that used to be like, oh, this is at least it is natural, but when you look at the studies done on it, you find that it's not healthy. So a lot of doctors now, or let's say scientists, are discouraging people from using those products.
See, doesn't matter. I'm not going to let it go easily because when we're talking about sugar,
Yeah.
one of the reasons people are told to consume sugar in moderation is because of the calories that comes to you
Yes.
whenever you break it down, and
Yes.
it gets turned into glycogen. That's fat. Now, non-calorie sweeteners are basically sweeteners that give you no calories, and we're saying they are non-nutritive. What exactly is the nutrition white sugar is giving to you? But we still use it anyways. So
I get what you're saying, but okay. So the thing is, I'm not a scientist.
yeah,
Unfortunately.
but you're here defending them, so I'm going to fire the
for
question.
So for me, what I do is I look at what the scientists have said because they know they've done the studies, So I try to play safe if I should put it that way. Yeah. And they've already told us that look, stevia, agave, these natural sweeteners, they are not safe to consume. Yeah, some people still promote them as safe to consume, some people in the health industry. And yes, everybody has their reasons, for doing that. But for me, it goes back to looking at what the studies, studies that have been conducted on these, products. Yeah, and it's better to be safe than sorry. Yeah.
Okay, because we're talking about the fact versus the reality, let's talk about the masses. So if you were to give a blanket advice to people who, you mentioned coconut nectar, yeah? How accessible is that?
Okay, yes, that's not so, but it is in a way, that's why people need to start doing these things for themselves. Yes, people need to, because you see, when you look at healthy eating, healthy eating requires the individual to take, to make that effort, to go the extra mile to do things for themselves, to get those resources and put them together and use it, create something and use it to pleasure themselves. The problem we have now is that you find many people are too lazy. In fact, I can't remember, as in the only time I heard of a farm or I went to a farm was when I was really little, and that's when I used to go to the village. But I'm sure the typical, young Nigerian now, they don't have any knowledge of what the farm looks like.
True.
Exactly. And these are issues. I'm not saying people should now start going to the farm. No. But cultivate the lifestyle of getting things naturally, getting the right source. Don't just go there and say, oh, this thing is already made and put it into your system. Because the truth is, you don't know how, you don't know what has been put in that thing, to make it what it is. And whether we like it or not, commercialized products Most commercialized products, I'm not saying all, but most usually are not healthy.
Hmm.
Yes.
You know, I was about to give the advice that try, if possible, to have a garden in your house.
Yes, exactly. That's another.
But in a city like Lagos, where people hardly even have leg room in
True.
their bedrooms,
True.
where would they see land for
Another thing
garden?
you can do is you can have just some small pots. You know, if you don't really have an environment for it, you could get those small flower pots and grow your vegetables. You can create
Okay.
a space in your. There are ways of doing these things. You know, you can create a space and just grow that vegetable.
You know, while you were answering the question on healthy eating, especially as it concerns the masses, I was thinking maybe one of these days we should talk about healthy eating on a budget.
Yes, yes, that's also a very good thing because yeah, people feel healthy eating is expensive. Yes.
Okay, since you already talked about having those things in the pots, so let's go back to that topic of natural versus organic. And because we are saying people should be healthy, I mean, people should pick their healthy foods. If somebody goes to the supermarket to buy those apples and those oranges that almost never spoil for a year, what should they be mindful of? How do you even choose healthy, and what's the difference between natural and organic?
Okay, thank you for asking that question. So the difference between natural and organic is natural is something that is authentic, is original. This is the source. While organic is something that does not have chemicals. So something can be natural and not organic. Also, something can be organic and not natural in the sense that
Break it down, please. Thank you.
So the stuff that is organic and not natural, it means that that thing is GMO and that thing is GMO and it is organic in the sense that it's GMO and doesn't contain chemicals.
I'm confused. I am very confused. Okay. Break it down to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
Okay. So, organic is something that doesn't have chemicals. Now, you have natural foods that are not organic in the sense that you have natural foods that have chemicals in them because of the farming processes, which, to be honest with you, people shouldn't really, yes, people should be bothered, but people shouldn't really concern themselves about that because that food to an extent has nutrients in it because it's natural. But where there's a problem is where you're going for something that is organic, which doesn't have chemicals and is not natural. It's organic but it's GMO. And that is what you find in most supermarkets, unfortunately, because that is why they don't get spoiled because they are GMO products. So people need to be careful. When you get into a supermarket, ask questions. Find out from the managers or the salespeople there. What this product is it coming from the farm? They will tell you. And then one thing I tell people how to identify these things. I stay away from foreign fruits that are not locally grown. I stay away from them. So that is why it's best to go to the local markets to buy these things. Yes, there are some vegetables you won't find in local markets, especially in Lagos. I don't know why. But when you go to places like the south, you see varieties. But here in Lagos, things like celery, parsley, these are vegetables that are really good for people to consume. So sometimes I find them in supermarkets. And what I do is I always ask, what's the source of this vegetable? They will tell me, oh, they got it from a farm outside Lagos, or and then that's what will make me decide to buy it or not.
Yes. That GMO you mentioned actually is a very big topic because I know there was a time the federal government of agriculture said we do not have GMO products in Nigeria and there shouldn't be nobody accusing or trying to insinuate that we have GMO products in supermarkets and all of that. Now, sometimes I feel, why we do not have those products going bad is because of their preservation techniques.
Yes.
Because I know there was a time I read online that the reason why we have apples really shiny is because of a particular wax, maybe beeswax.
You're right.
And so because of that, you should always wash it very well with maybe
take out the
back. The back. Yes. If you take out that's the fiber.
Exactly.
This one is hard.
It's very hard though. My sister, it's very hard. That is why they grow apples in Jos.
Yes, they do.
Mhm. So I think people need to look inwards. We need to look out for more of our products because we have many. You have products, natural food products everywhere in Nigeria. Nigeria is blessed.
It is.
It is blessed. If you look at the north, you can find apples, you can find these red grapes, you can find there is even one now that I used to buy, pomegranates.
Yeah.
You can find strawberries.
Yeah,
You
the
can
ones
find
from
them.
Jos. Yeah.
Yes. So we don't necessarily have to be importing these things because if you're focusing on those ones, you don't know the source. You don't know if it is GMO that is being imported or is the local fruits from those countries that they're bringing in.
It's just that thing about Nigerians having foreign taste buds and associating foreign stuff with class and even thinking it's more healthy. But if there's anything I've been able to take out is that we should look more inwards and like one of my guests said one time, eat fruits that are closer to the soil.
Yes.
Freshly taken out of the soil. And you'll not only be gaining, but also you'll be growing the economy of Nigeria and strengthening the naira and helping your neighbor, your person, or that person who's sweating and cultivating. So yeah, I hope you've been able to get a lot of things out of the conversation. Guess what? We're out of time.
Yes, I noticed.
Time really flies by when you're having good one. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
We should do this again. Healthy eating on a budget. We should. All right. If people want to follow you and keep up with you across all social media platforms, how can they do that?
Okay. So my Instagram handle is at Boma's Wellness.
Okay.
Yes. So you can follow me on IG because there's just so much I talk about there, on how people can eat healthy and live healthy. Because apart from eating healthy, lifestyle practices are very important. Many of us do not have the right lifestyle practices. Some people don't sleep well, which is a problem. Some people, thrive in stress. These are things that affect our health. So you can go on my IG handle to just hear those conversations and also check out my healthy food recipes. I post on food recipes a lot. And then also, you can also go on my website, which is www.bomaharry.com, to know more of my wellness services because I offer wellness services to people. I offer meal plans to people who are facing health challenges or who want to lose weight. If you want to lose weight and you want to lose it well and maintain that weight, hey, you can go check out my my services. Yeah.
And as somebody who has had a taste of her cupcake with coconut chips, I can tell you for a fact that healthy is not necessarily tasteless. So take that notion away from your head. Thank you so much for being my guest this lovely morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Lagos, for being a part of that conversation. Of course, if you have missed out this conversation, I think about you. I think ahead. So just go to YouTube and catch it up. That is a Smooth 91 FM Lagos on YouTube. And yeah, Habib on YouTube says, wow, woo. So much opening information. Thank you, Smooth FM, for this information. You are very welcome. So yes, go and have your own dose of this if you have missed out on it. And of course, share it to somebody who needs to have this information. We care about you because we want you to keep listening to us. And for that, you need to be healthy. We will continue actually in about 5 minutes time with the Kiddies Show. Curious minds, and bring your kids, your nieces, your nephews, your nibblings all along and let them come be a part of the game show. It will be absolutely fun. This is Smooth 98.1.
My name is Johnny Drill, and for the best of soul, R&B, jazz, and a bit of folk, keep it
Yeah, I almost didn't know that the time was fine. Like what?
This is
7 minutes is so much.
Yeah,
Small,
so
so much
yeah.
small.
And let's take our picture.
Yeah,
I didn't do makeup today, but
I didn't do makeup either.
oh yes, and you look pretty good. You do.
Thank
Who's gonna help us with these pictures now?
Oh, true.